On a road near the border, Chris Cabrera, spokesperson for the National Border Patrol Council, says undocumented migrants are still turning themselves in nearly every day.
They'll just sit right here in the shade, or sometimes they'll walk up that main road we came up, and sometimes they'll come down here and just continue on.
He says this is despite Donald Trump's executive orders ending catch and release.
We were told that catch and release had come to an end, and it looked like it did. It looked like people had stopped coming. There has been no significant change in policy. People are allowed to still come in, claim asylum, and go further on into the country.
Under former Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly, the department defined catch and release as any policy that allows migrants to be released from detention while they wait for their court appearance.
We have ended the dangerous catch and release program.
Cabrera says he was happy about the announcement because he thinks it's the only way to stop illegal border crossings.
You can't deter them through apprehension because they're trying to get apprehended. So you have to deter them by policy change, by enforcement of the law.
Between January and February, apprehensions and inadmissibles were down almost 20,000 on the southwest border. Cabrera says that's because people weren't turning themselves in thinking they would be released. But now that number is going back up, despite the fact in the past the summer heat had created a slow period in crossings.
People around in April, May started to realize that nothing had been done policy-wise, so the numbers started climbing back up again.
DHS Press Secretary Jenny Burke told Circa the department is following the executive orders, but would not confirm if the policies have in fact ended. She said undocumented migrants are still being released depending on circumstances, and there have been no recent policy changes. But not everyone who works near the border wants the policies to end.
They're children, and they require special care and attention, and a detention facility is not necessarily the best place for them to be.
Pimento runs the Humanitarian Respite Center in McAllen, Texas, and takes in undocumented migrants before they disperse across the country.
Give them permission to go to their families and then continue their deportation proceedings in those locations. I think that's really a very humane way to deal with that particular family.
And though they disagree over catch and release, Pimentel says Border Patrol's intentions are not much different from her own.
By providing this service, it's simply to follow up with what the Border Patrol is already doing, and they're doing their best to do their job. And we continue to help these families to make sure that they show up to court, that they continue their process, and that they're helped along the way.